You ever feel like you were thrown into adulthood without a manual? You learn how to calculate triangles, but not how to handle failure, money, or people. Most of us stumble through our 20s blind, learning through pain and regret instead of guidance. I've been there. That's why in this video, I'm breaking down everything about life they never teach you in school. The unfiltered lessons that actually prepare you for the real world and keep you from wasting the most important years of your life. Lesson number 1, identify what game you're actually playing. Here's something that hit me like a truck in my early 20s. Most of us are playing games we didn't consciously choose. In high school, the game was crystal clear. Get good grades, ace the SATs, get into a decent college. Simple. But then you graduate, and suddenly nobody explains what the new game is. I spent my first 2 years of college still playing the get perfect grades game, not realizing that the real game had shifted. Maybe it was about building networks, gaining practical skills, or figuring out what I actually wanted to do with my life. Ask yourself this question every few months. What game am I playing right now? And is it the game I want to be playing? That decision you made at 16 about your major? You're not locked into that forever. Ignore the sunk cost fallacy and be honest about whether you're on the right path. It takes more courage to change direction when you realize you're on the wrong path than to keep climbing out of pride. Why climb a ladder that doesn't lead where you want to go? Life rewards curiosity about what truly matters, not blind loyalty to outdated rules. Now let's have a look at how you can actually build your foundation in the early years, which brings me to lesson number 2, develop skills that compound over time. When you're 18, you're naturally focused on immediate results. But here's what I wish someone had told me. The most powerful thing you can do is start building skills that get better with time. Communication skills, critical thinking, or learning how to learn don't just add to what you can do, they multiply it. If someone starts writing daily at 18, they don't just get better at writing. They learn to think clearly, persuade effectively, and express ideas others can't. Start early with skills that have no expiration date. Lesson number 3, fix your posture. Now thank me later. My friend, pay attention to your posture. I spent years hunched over my laptop in college, and now at 25, I'm dealing with back pain and paying for physiotherapy I could have avoided. At 18, your body feels invincible, but your future self will either thank you or curse you for how you treat it now. Small habits compound, sitting up straight, taking breaks, moving regularly. They're not just good for your body, they're investments in decades of comfort and mobility. The pain you prevent today is much easier than the pain you'll fix tomorrow. Lesson number 4, document everything through photos. Take way more photos than feels natural. I know it seems inconvenient at the moment, and you might feel like that person always pulling out their phone, but trust me on this. Your college years, your early 20s, those random Tuesday nights with friends, they're never coming back. I have maybe 20 photos from my entire freshman year, and I kick myself for it regularly. Those memories fade faster than you think. Now we covered the basics, so let's talk about capturing and creating the experiences that'll matter most. Lesson number 5, become a documentarian of your learning. Here's something that's been a game changer for me. Whenever you read a book, listen to a podcast, or consume any meaningful content, write down your thoughts immediately, not a summary, your actual thoughts and reactions. When I read The 4-Hour Workweek at 19, I thought I'd remember all the key insights forever. Spoiler alert, I didn't. Now, whenever I finish a book or listen to an interesting podcast, I spend 15 minutes writing down what struck me, what I agreed or disagreed with, and how it might change my behavior. Your brain isn't a filing cabinet. It's more like a sieve that lets most information slip through unless you actively work to retain it. The act of writing forces you to process ideas more deeply, and reviewing your notes months later often reveals patterns and connections you missed the first time. I'm going to share the most counterintuitive advice about making friends in college in just a moment. But first, we need to talk about something that completely changed how I approach social situations. Lesson number 6, become the connector. Let me tell you something, my friend. One of my biggest fears going into college was that I wouldn't make friends. I was convinced everyone else had it figured out while I'd be eating lunch alone. That's when I realized, literally everyone has those same fears. But here's the secret. Every friend group needs someone to bring people together. Be okay with being that person. Create the group chats, organize the study sessions, invite people over, host the movie nights. Everyone wants someone to take charge. Most people are just too nervous to do it themselves. Leadership starts with the willingness to say, let's do this, when everyone else is waiting for someone else to speak up. The person who learns to initiate and organize in college becomes the person others naturally turn to throughout life. I started doing this halfway through my sophomore year, and it completely changed my social experience. Instead of waiting for invitations, I became the person sending them out. But here's something nobody tells me. Documentation is great, but you need people worth documenting. Here's how to build those relationships. Lesson number 7, increase your surface area for luck. You're probably already pretty good at putting yourself out there, joining clubs, going to events, meeting new people. But here's something nobody tells you. There's always room to do more. When you're debating between staying in your dorm room, watching Netflix, or going to that event you're not super excited about, go to the event. Individual events might not matter much, but the more you expose yourself to different people and situations, the more you increase what I call your surface area for serendipity. Some of my most valuable relationships and opportunities came from events I almost didn't attend. Your luck happens when your preparation meets opportunity, and you can't meet opportunity from your dorm room. Lesson number 8, the power of the open door policy. Get a doorstop. Keep your dorm room door open whenever you're home and awake. Actively encourage people to interrupt you while you're studying or just hanging out. You'll never remember that extra hour of productivity you might have gained, but you will remember the random 11 p.m. conversations that turned into lifelong friendships. Those spontaneous interactions are what college memories are made of. Lesson number 9, just don't be mean to people. This one's simple, but crucial. Don't be mean to people, ever. You will only regret it. That person you think is annoying in your freshman seminar, they might become your business partner 5 years from now. The world is smaller than you think, and people remember how you made them feel. Being kind costs you nothing, but builds a reputation that opens doors you didn't even know existed. All those connections are valuable. But let's talk about building actual financial value too. Lesson number 10, invest early, yes, even small amounts. My friend, if you have any spare money, start investing it. I wish I'd started putting money into index funds at 18 instead of letting it sit in my checking account. You don't need thousands of dollars to start, you just need to start. Time is your biggest asset when you're young, and compound interest is basically free money for being patient. Even if you can only afford to invest what you'd normally spend on coffee each week, that small sacrifice now could mean retiring years earlier. I learned this lesson the hard way. Waiting costs you more than you think. So let me ask you, what's your biggest money regret so far? Maybe you're like me and wish you'd started investing sooner, or maybe you'd learned something completely different. Drop your story below, because I know your mistakes will save someone else from making the same ones. Your time is the one resource you'll never get back, so how you use it is even more important. Lesson number 11, nothing good happens after 2 a.m. Let me tell you, I love a good late night hangout session as much as anyone, but here's what I've learned. The quality of social interactions drops dramatically after 2 a.m. Those deep, meaningful conversations happen between 10 p.m. and 2 a.m. After that, everyone's tired, conversations get weird, and you end up feeling terrible the next day. Learn to recognize when the magic window has closed and be the person who suggests wrapping up. You'll wake up refreshed instead of wasting the entire next day recovering. Your sleep schedule affects everything, your mood, your productivity, your ability to make good decisions, so protecting it is protecting your future self. The most successful people I know aren't the ones who stay up late. They're the ones who know when to call it a night. Lesson number 12, consistency beats intensity. Doing a little every day beats cramming. I used to pull all-nighters before exams, 12-hour study marathons that left me brain dead. Then I learned about active recall and spaced repetition. Now I do 30 minutes daily instead of those brutal cram sessions. I remember more, stress less, and actually have a life. Works for everything, not just studying. Consistency isn't glamorous, but it's the closest thing to a superpower you'll find. Whether you're learning a language, getting in shape, or building any skill. Your brain literally rewires itself better with daily practice than with intense weekend warrior sessions. I'm about to share the mindset shift that's been responsible for every major opportunity in my life. But before that, let me tell you about the biggest mistake most people make when it comes to taking initiative. Lesson number 13, seek forgiveness, not permission. Want to start something? Just do it. Stop asking for permission, my friend. I wasted months in college emailing professors asking if I could start projects. Complete waste of time. Worst case scenario, someone tells you to stop. Most people don't care what you're doing anyway. You're overthinking it. The world rewards action way more than it punishes mistakes, and most of what you think are big deals are actually pretty forgettable to everyone else. Taking initiative teaches you more in a week than asking for permission teaches you in a month. Acting boldly is easier when your mindset supports it, when the way you think stops holding you back. Lesson number 14, stop worrying about what others think. I learned this the hard way. People aren't thinking about you at all. Everyone's too busy with their own problems and insecurities to worry about yours. That embarrassing thing you did last week? They forgot already? They're too busy replaying their own cringe moments to remember yours. Stop worrying about what others think. They're not thinking. This realization is incredibly freeing once you accept that you're not the main character in anyone else's story. You can finally start being the main character on your own. Most of your anxiety about judgment disappears when you realize everyone else is just as worried about how they're coming across. Lesson number 15, question your assumptions about difficulty. My friend, when something feels impossible, ask yourself, how hard should this really be? I made college way harder than it needed to be. I thought everything had to be brutal because it was a good school. Wrong. I was psyching myself out. Change your mindset from this is going to suck to let's figure this out, and everything got easier. Stop making things harder than they are. Now let's take those bigger mental shifts and see how they can transform something practical, like your studies. Lesson number 16, it's okay to skip lectures if you're strategic. This might be controversial, but if your professor is only reading slides you already have, you don't need to sit in that lecture. You can study the material better on your own, where you can actually focus. Just don't waste time summarizing notes. Test yourself with active recall so you know what you really understand. Your time is finite and valuable. Spending 2 hours in a pointless lecture could be 2 hours building skills, networking, or actually learning something useful. The smartest students figure out how to game the system ethically and focus their energy where it matters most. Lesson number 17, falling behind is normal. Here's the thing, college terms are short and intense. You're going to fall behind on coursework, and that's completely normal. About 90% of your classmates are also behind. They're just better at hiding it. Don't sacrifice social opportunities during the term to catch up on work. Your college social experience only happens once, but you have long breaks specifically designed for catching up academically. Use them strategically. My friend, school is important, but it's just one piece of the puzzle. You'll want to develop skills and income streams that go beyond the classroom. Lesson number 18, start building income streams early. When you read books about passive income and online business, don't just absorb the information, act on it. Start small projects, try to make money online, launch a simple service. I started building small websites and doing freelance work in college. The money wasn't life-changing, but the skills I developed were invaluable. More importantly, I learned how to create value for other people and charge money for it. One of the most important skills you can develop. The key is not to obsess over the money initially, but to focus on the learning experience. Every failed project teaches you something valuable. Learning to hustle early gives you confidence that you can always figure out how to make money, which is way more valuable than any single job or paycheck. As you're stacking up skills and opportunities, it's easy to get lost in the grind. That's why keeping the right perspective matters most. Lesson number 19, enjoy the journey, not just the destination. My friend, college really is a unique time in your life, and it goes by faster than you realize. Don't get so focused on grades, internships, and post-graduation plans that you forget to enjoy where you are right now. It's totally fine to have ambitious goals. I encourage it. But make sure you're not so future-focused that you miss the incredible experience happening around you. As they say, journey before destination. Lesson number 20, collaboration over competition. Here's something I've learned when I was in college. I didn't need to compete with my classmates. We could work together, sharing study guides, forming study groups, and helping each other succeed made everything easier and more enjoyable. Don't worry about keeping score of who's helping whom. Just be generous with your knowledge and resources. The goodwill you create will come back to you in ways you can't predict. Lesson number 21, focus on what you can control. This is probably the most important lesson on this list. There's a version of the serenity prayer that goes, grant me the serenity to accept what I cannot change, the courage to change what I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Spend your mental energy on things within your control, your effort, your attitude, your preparation, your response to situations. Don't waste emotional energy on things outside your control, other people's opinions, the job market, your professor's grading style. Here's a bonus tip to tie it all together. Learn how to study the right way. Most people waste hours rereading notes or decorating pages with highlighters, but none of that really sticks. What works is active recall, spaced repetition, and testing yourself. You'll actually study less and remember more. Skip the pretty notes. Focus on the methods that truly work. My friend, you don't have to learn these lessons through painful experiences like I did. You can skip the mistakes and jump straight to what works. Some of these might seem obvious. Others might feel uncomfortable or go against what everyone else is telling you. That's fine. You don't need to implement all 21 tomorrow. Pick 3 that hit you the hardest and start there. Now those lessons I just shared, they're your foundation. But here's where it gets real. When you hit your mid-20s, life stops giving you participation trophies. The game changes completely and the stakes get higher. What worked at 18 won't cut it at 25. I learned this the hard way, and I'm about to share the brutal truths that nobody sugarcoats for you. These aren't feel-good platitudes. They're the uncomfortable realities that will either make or break your 20s. Some of these will sting, but that's exactly why you need to hear them now. Truth number 1, don't make the mistake of becoming good at something you hate. When I started my first side hustle, I thought I had to master every single aspect: accounting, customer service, marketing, web design. I was burning myself out trying to be a one-man army. Here's what I learned. When you get good at what you actually enjoy, you can afford to pay someone else to handle the stuff that drains your soul. Focus on your strengths, delegate your weaknesses. Truth number 2, the word no is a complete sentence. You're allowed to just say no without explaining yourself. I know you're worried about hurting feelings, but what about your feelings? Every time you say yes to something that drains you, you're saying no to something that could fulfill you. A no today is a yes to your future. Truth number 3, only ask for advice from people who have been where you want to go. If someone hasn't achieved what you're trying to achieve, their advice is going to be flawed. It doesn't matter how many books they've read or stories they've heard. If they haven't walked the path, they can't give you the real roadmap. Truth number 4, stay close to people who want more for you, not from you. I used to surround myself with energy vampires, people who constantly asked for favors, borrowed money, or just complained about everything. When I did a friend audit and started adding people who actually pushed me to be better, who expected great things from me, everything changed. Your network determines your net worth, but more importantly, it determines your mindset. Truth number 5, normalize leaving people in whatever reality they've chosen. I used to argue with people who tried to convince me that wanting more was greedy or stressful. I wasted so much energy trying to justify my ambitions. Now I just let them stay in their chosen reality. That energy is better spent actually building something. Sometimes your growth will inspire them to ask how you did it, but that's their choice to make. Truth number 6, if you keep running into bad people, you might be the problem. If drama follows you everywhere, if all your relationships end badly, if you're constantly having conflicts, look in the mirror. Misery loves company, and you might be attracting what you're putting out. Truth number 7, avoid drama and gossip at all costs. High-level people are allergic to drama. As soon as they hear it, they remove themselves from the situation. They're too busy creating and building to waste time on negativity. Truth number 8, go to bed and wake up at the exact same time every day. This sounds boring, but it's the foundation of everything else. Most problems would actually be solved if you just went to bed on time. Your brain needs consistent recovery, and your body craves routine. The discipline you build from this one habit will compound into everything else you do. Truth number 9, your body is the only one you'll ever have. Treat it like it. When you're healthy, you have 1,000 dreams and goals. When you're sick, you have one. Get better. Most people treat their body like a beat-up car instead of the high-performance machine it could be. If you've got energy and focus, you'll run circles around everyone else. Truth number 10, get rid of all your vices, and I mean all of them. The excessive social media, the news addiction, the toxic relationships, the sugar, the gossip. Some of you are addicted to things you don't even realize are holding you back. If you want more, you have to create space by letting go of what's keeping you stuck. I'm going to share the mindset shift that completely changed how I approach challenges in just a minute. But first, you need to understand why most people stay stuck in mediocrity. Truth number 11, improving yourself daily is the only addiction you need. I'm addicted to becoming a better version of myself every single day. A little stronger, a little smarter, a little more focused. If you wake up with the attitude of just 1% better every day and you give yourself grace when you have setbacks, that compound growth will transform your entire life. Truth number 12, stop reading books, start studying them. There's a huge difference between reading something to say you read it and studying something to apply it. When you study a book with the intention of teaching others what you learned, your comprehension and retention skyrocket. That's how you actually change your beliefs and actions. Truth number 13, dedicate a decade, not a day. Anyone can do something once and feel good about it. I'm not impressed by people who go to the gym once or start a side project for a week. When you're willing to dedicate a decade to mastering something, the world will conspire to help you succeed. Truth number 14, nothing you've gone through has made you weaker. Every challenge, every setback, every moment when you thought you couldn't handle it, you did. You're stronger because of those experiences, not in spite of them. The difficulties you've overcome are proof that you can handle whatever comes next. Truth number 15. Confidence comes from keeping commitments you make to yourself in private. Every time you say you'll wake up early and don't, every time you promise to work out and skip it, you're chipping away at your self-trust. Confidence isn't built through affirmations. It's built through consistent action when nobody's watching. Truth number 16. You teach people how to treat you. I see this constantly. Someone responds to texts immediately, then gets upset when people expect instant replies. Or they let someone cancel meetings repeatedly, then wonder why they're not respected. The first time someone crosses a boundary, that's when you set the standard. If you don't communicate your expectations, people will default to whatever's convenient for them. I'm really curious about your experience with setting boundaries like this. Have you ever had someone repeatedly cross your boundaries, and when you finally spoke up, they suddenly started treating you differently? Or maybe you've been on the other side, realizing you were taking advantage of someone's kindness because they never said anything. I think most of us have been in both situations at some point. Truth number 17. Being humble isn't about thinking less of yourself. It's about thinking of yourself less. People sometimes mistake confidence for arrogance, but real humility is about service. Playing small doesn't help anyone. When you show up fully and authentically, you give others permission to do the same. Truth number 18. Don't dim your light to make other people comfortable. If being authentically yourself is too much for some people, let them find less somewhere else. The right people will appreciate your energy, and the wrong people will filter themselves out. Truth number 19. You have to be willing to be misunderstood for long periods of time. If your vision is bigger than what people around you are doing, they won't understand your choices. They'll question why you're sacrificing, why you're working so hard, why you're not settling. That's normal. The same people who misunderstand you now will brag about knowing you later. Truth number 20. You get tested the most when it's your time to level up. I've seen this pattern over and over. Right when you're about to break through to the next level, something happens. You get sick, someone quits, a deal falls through. It's like life is asking, do you really want this? Those moments aren't setbacks. They're final exams. Truth number 21. Fear gives terrible advice. In those dark moments when you want to quit, when you feel like you've had enough, remember that you're getting advice from the worst possible source, your fearful mind. Find someone else to talk to. Get perspective from people who care about you. Truth number 22. Look for problems, don't avoid them. The quality of your life is directly related to the size of problems you can solve. Instead of avoiding challenges, actively seek bigger ones. That's where growth happens, and that's where opportunities hide. Truth number 23. It's better to admit you walked through the wrong door than to spend years in the wrong room. We often stay in situations, jobs, relationships, cities, way longer than we should just because we've already invested time there. The sunk cost fallacy will keep you trapped. The faster you can acknowledge when something isn't working and pivot, the better your life will be. Truth number 24. You waiting for a sign is the sign. Stop waiting for perfect conditions or divine intervention. The fact that you're even asking for a sign means you already know what you need to do. Your intuition is usually right. Trust it and take action. Truth number 25. It's never too late to change. I don't care if you're 67 or 17. Today, in this moment, you can decide to change your life. Everyone had to start somewhere. Everyone had to take that first step. Today could be your day one. Truth number 26. Everything wants you when you want nothing. The person with the most power in any room is the one who needs nothing from anyone else. When you're needy, people can sense it, and it's repulsive. When you're focused on your own growth and don't need external validation, that's when opportunities start showing up. Truth number 27. When things get easy, go harder. Every time I reach a new level and things start feeling comfortable, I remind myself how I acted when I was starting from zero. Most people get some success and then coast, but if you had a vision that was bigger than where you are now, why would you slow down just because things got easier? Truth number 28. Your new life will cost you your old one. If you want to move forward, you have to change how you've been living. If your current habits could get you where you want to go, you'd already be there. Growth requires letting go of what's comfortable. By the way, I just launched YouTube memberships on the channel. If you've ever wanted to get more involved or support what I do here, this is a great way to do it. Members get some cool perks, like priority replies to your comments, and even the chance to suggest topics for future videos. So if that sounds like something you'd enjoy, check out the join button below. I'd love to have you on board. Truth number 29, always assume positive intent. When someone cuts you off in traffic, you have two choices. Get road rage and let it ruin your morning, or assume they're rushing to the hospital for an emergency. Both scenarios are equally possible, but only one keeps you focused on what matters. Truth number 30, put your own mask on first. Just like on an airplane, you can't help others if you're not taking care of yourself first. Too many people get distracted by other people's drama and problems, which pulls them away from building the resources they need to actually help in meaningful ways. Truth number 31, if you're addicted to your phone, your life isn't interesting enough. If the best part of your day is doom scrolling on social media, you need to get some hobbies. Start doing things in the real world that challenge you, that push you outside your comfort zone. That's infinitely more interesting than digital distractions. Truth number 32, take on as much responsibility as you can handle. Always say yes to opportunities, especially when they involve people who can help you grow. The person who's always available figures out how to get more done through that pressure. Eventually, you become the go-to person for important projects. Truth number 33, don't blame anyone else for where you are. Not your parents, not your ex, not your boss, not the economy. As soon as you blame someone else, you lose control. When you accept that you're responsible for your circumstances, you unlock the ability to change them. Truth number 34, have a primary aim for your life. People ask me why I'm so motivated. My response is, why aren't you more motivated? I know why I'm here, what my life stands for, what my purpose is. When you have that clarity, it becomes fuel that pulls you forward through any obstacle. Truth number 35, treat others how you want to be treated. If you want more love, give more love. If you want better friendships, be a better friend. The energy you put out into the world is what comes back to you. Truth number 36, tell people about them. The most powerful thing you have is acknowledgement. You never know when a simple compliment might be exactly what someone needs to hear. That one positive word at the right moment could change someone's entire day or even their life trajectory. In a moment, I'm going to share the mindset shift that separates successful people from everyone else. But first, you need to understand why most people sabotage their own progress. Truth number 37, respect comes from admiration, not fear. Look up to people who are givers, who've accomplished great things, who lift others up. Don't follow people just because you're scared of them or worried about their approval. Find leaders who hold you to a higher standard while also helping you grow. Truth number 38, be blissfully dissatisfied with where you're at. Be grateful for what you have today, but know that you're created for something more. It sounds contradictory, but you can have gratitude and ambition at the same time. That tension is what drives growth. Truth number 39, make time for what matters to you. Show me your calendar and I'll show you your priorities. If you say family is important, but you never schedule time with them, you're lying to yourself. If it matters, you make time for it, period. Truth number 40, life is a mirror, not a window. Stop comparing yourself to others and looking out the window. Your life is a reflection of who you are. The world isn't as it is. The world is as you are. If you want things to get better around you, you have to get better. Everything starts with the person looking back at you in the mirror. These aren't just philosophical concepts. They're practical truths that will change your life if you apply them. The question isn't whether you understand them. The question is, what are you going to do about it? Your 20s are your building years. Every decision you make, every habit you develop, every relationship you nurture or cut off, it all compounds. The person you become in your 30s is being shaped by the choices you make today. You know what's wild? Even when you implement all those truths, even when you do everything right in your mid-20s, there's still this creeping feeling that hits you. It's subtle at first, maybe around 27, 28, when you start noticing things feel different. Time moves faster. Your body responds slower, your social circle shifts, and suddenly you're facing realities that your younger self never considered. The exhaustion isn't just physical anymore, the comparisons cut deeper, and the person staring back at you in the mirror isn't quite who you expected to see. This is what getting older actually feels like. Number 1, the myth of having it all figured out. My friend, Here's what they don't tell you. Life doesn't suddenly click. There's no magical moment at 25 or 30 when the anxiety disappears and confidence downloads like a software update. You just get better at carrying the uncertainty, at functioning despite not having all the answers. Everyone around you seems to have cracked some secret code. Your college friends are getting engaged, buying houses, getting promoted, while you're still using the same IKEA furniture from freshman year and wondering if you're adulting wrong. But here's the secret. Nobody admits. We're all just really good actors. That friend who seems so put together, they Googled how to negotiate salary 5 minutes before their meeting. That couple with the perfect relationship, they had a fight about dishwasher loading techniques last Tuesday. The myth is that everyone else figured it out and you're the only one still improvising. The truth is that improvisation is the plan. We're all just making educated guesses and hoping for the best. Number 2, the career comparison trap. Let me tell you about the most toxic game you'll play in your 20s. LinkedIn Olympics. You'll scroll through updates about promotions, new jobs, and excited to announce posts while sitting in your pajamas, wondering if you peaked in college. I spent months comparing my behind the scenes to everyone else's highlight reel. Sarah got promoted to marketing director while I was still figuring out if I even liked marketing. Mike started his own consulting firm while I was Googling, is it normal to cry at work bathrooms? Here's what changed my perspective. I started asking different questions. Instead of, why am I so far behind? I asked, what do I actually want my day-to-day to look like? Instead of, when will I be successful? I asked, how do I define success for myself? Your career isn't a race. It's not even a ladder. Sometimes it's more like a jungle gym. You climb sideways, backwards. Sometimes you fall off and have to start over. And that's not failure, that's exploration. The people posting about their dream jobs, half of them are miserable but afraid to admit it. The ones sharing their entrepreneurial wins, they're not posting about the 3 a.m. anxiety attacks or the ramen noodle dinners. I'm about to share the realization that completely shifted how I think about my own timeline. But first, you need to understand why that voice in your head is so damn loud. Number 3, the exhaustion nobody warns you about. No one warns you that you don't feel older. You just feel tired. Not regular tired, but existentially tired. Tired in your bones, tired in your soul, tired of pretending you have it together when you're still Googling how to adult at 2 a.m. People will say, oh, you just need better sleep habits. I could sleep for 12 hours and still wake up emotionally jet-lagged from a dream where I failed a presentation I haven't even given yet. The tiredness isn't physical. It's the weight of expectations, both your own and everyone else's. It's decision fatigue from choosing what to eat for breakfast, what to wear, what to say in that work meeting, what to do with your life, all before 9 a.m. Here's the kicker they don't tell you. The hardest part of getting older isn't the responsibilities or the bills. The hardest part is mourning the version of yourself you thought you'd be by now. You know that version. The successful, confident, financially stable, emotionally intelligent you. The one who meal preps, has a skincare routine, and actually understands cryptocurrency. That version who seemed so achievable when you were 21 and everything felt possible. But instead, here you are at 1:30 a.m., eating cereal for dinner while scrolling through Instagram, wondering why everyone else seems to have figured out the secret to being human. Number 4, the social media reality check. Let's talk about the elephant in the room. Social media is ruining your perception of normal. You're comparing your real life, messy apartment, existential crisis, questioning your career choices, to everyone else's carefully curated moments. That friend posting from Bali, they're not showing you the food poisoning or the credit card debt. The couple with the perfect relationship photos, you don't see them arguing about who forgot to buy toilet paper. I realized this when I posted a photo from a work event where I looked confident and professional. What I didn't post, I had a panic attack in the bathroom beforehand and spent the entire night feeling like an imposter. Social media shows you the highlight reel, not the blooper reel. Everyone's struggling with something, but we've created this culture where showing struggle feels like admitting failure. Let me tell you, the most liberating thing I ever did was start treating social media like a movie trailer. Entertaining, but not the full story. Your behind the scenes is always going to look messier than everyone else's final cut. Speaking of getting behind the scenes, I recently launched YouTube memberships, and it's a way for us to connect a bit more directly. Members get things like priority replies and can even pitch in ideas for future content. If that sounds fun, I'd be honored to have you on board. Just hit join below. Number 5. The friendship evolution nobody prepared you for. Here's something nobody prepared me for. Adult friendships are hard work, like job level hard work. Your social circle naturally contracts, and it's not because you don't care, it's because everyone's drowning in their own life. Remember when you used to spend hours on the phone with friends talking about nothing? Now scheduling a coffee date requires the coordination skills of a military operation. Let's hang out becomes, how's 3 weeks from Thursday looking? And somehow that feels normal. The friends who matter in your late 20s are the ones who understand when you disappear for a month because life got overwhelming. They're the ones who can pick up conversations like no time passed, who text you random memes at 2 a.m., who show up when you're falling apart even if they're falling apart too. Quality over quantity becomes your friendship philosophy, but that doesn't make it easier when you realize you've grown apart from people who used to know everything about you. I learned that friendship maintenance is like plant care. Some relationships need daily watering, others thrive with minimal attention. The trick is not killing the low-maintenance ones by overwatering them with guilt. Number 6, the reality of time. Let me hit you with something that might sting. You don't have unlimited time to figure it out. One day, you'll do something for the very last time without realizing it. The last spontaneous road trip before you became someone who checks gas prices and plans bathroom stops. The last time you could eat pizza at midnight without feeling it for 3 days. The last time you felt that pure, uncomplicated excitement about the future. And what really gets you isn't the big stuff. It's walking through Target and seeing a snack you haven't had since college, and suddenly you're overwhelmed by the realization that you can't go back. That carefree version of you exists only in memories now. But here's the flip side. You can choose. Every single day, you can choose to stop abandoning yourself. You can choose to stop living like you're constantly running out of time to become someone else entirely. You can choose to be present with the weird, messy, still figuring it out version of you that exists right now. Not the version you think you should be, but the one you actually are. I'm really curious about your experience with this. Have you felt that shift where maintaining friendships became this complicated dance of schedules and energy management? What's the longest you've gone between talking to a close friend, and did it change the relationship? I think we all have those friendships that exist in this weird limbo now. Number 7, life as a choose-your-own adventure book. Here's your perspective shift. Life isn't a ladder with clear steps to success. It's more like a choose-your-own adventure book where half the pages are missing and you're making up the story as you go. Sometimes you're the hero of your story. Sometimes you're the comic relief. Sometimes you're that character who makes questionable decisions that advance the plot in unexpected ways. The worst part, you think you're behind some invisible schedule. Behind what? Behind who? Nobody handed out a life timeline at graduation. We're all just improvising with different resources and coping mechanisms. Let me tell you, nobody really knows what they're doing. Some people are just better at pretending they do. The ones who seem most confident, they're Googling how to be an adult just as much as you are. The story I'm about to tell you completely changed how I view my own struggles and mistakes. It might change how you see yours too. Number 8, the cracked pot revolution. Here's a story that broke my brain in the best way. Imagine you're carrying 2 water pots every day, one perfect, one cracked that leaks the entire journey home. For months, you feel like the cracked pot is useless, failing at its one job, until someone points out the flowers growing along the path where the cracked pot walked. Every drop it spilled watered seeds that bloomed into something beautiful. That's you. Your struggles, your detours, your I have no idea what I'm doing moments. They're not failures. They're you unknowingly watering things you didn't realize needed watering. The people you've helped because you understood their struggle. The authenticity you bring because you've been lost too. The empathy you have because you know what it feels like to feel broken. Your cracks aren't bugs, they're features. They make you human, relatable, real, in a world full of people pretending to be perfect. Number 9, what getting older actually means. So yeah, getting older means more bills, more decisions, more weird conversations about insurance and retirement funds you can't afford to contribute to. But it also means more chances to show up for yourself. It means learning that rest isn't laziness, it's maintenance. That boundaries aren't selfish, they're survival. That healing isn't becoming someone completely new, it's remembering who you were before the world told you who you had to be. It means realizing you can miss your college days and still be excited about your future. You can feel grateful and disappointed simultaneously. Contradiction doesn't mean confusion, it means you're complex and alive. It means finally learning to say, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm trying my best with the information I have. And sometimes that's not just enough, it's everything. Number 10, the beautiful mess of becoming. If you're watching this at some ungodly hour, scrolling through everyone else's curated happiness while wondering why you feel so empty, this is your reminder that you're not alone, you're not late, and you're not failing. You are becoming. And becoming isn't some Instagram-worthy transformation montage. It's messier than that. Becoming looks like crying in your car after a bad day and then going to get groceries anyway. It's saying no to plans that drain you, even though you've always been the yes person. It's eating the same lunch 3 days in a row because that's what you can handle, and that's perfectly fine. Sometimes becoming means washing one dish and calling it a victory. Sometimes it means admitting you're struggling, not for sympathy, but because pretending is exhausting. The beautiful truth is that you're doing better than you think. You're not behind some cosmic timeline. You're on your own path, moving at your own pace, sometimes creating the path as you walk it. That's not failure. That's courage most people will never recognize or celebrate, but I see it and it matters. Your 20s aren't about having it all figured out. They're about figuring out what questions are worth asking, what battles are worth fighting, and who you want to become, not who you think you should be. Let me tell you, all of this, the reality checks, the exhaustion, the identity confusion, it points to something crucial that most people completely miss. See, your 20s aren't just about surviving the chaos or managing the anxiety. They're actually your one shot at building invisible foundations that determine everything that comes after. While everyone's chasing status and achievements, there's a completely different game being played beneath the surface. The people who figure this out early, they're the ones who seem to effortlessly succeed by 35. The ones who don't, they spend their 30s playing catch up. So let's talk about what actually matters during this critical decade. 2 years ago, I was at a reunion with college friends. Everyone was sharing impressive updates, promotions, engagements, home ownership. When my turn came, I had nothing spectacular to report. I'd spent the year rebuilding my mental health, ending toxic friendships, and clarifying my values, all invisible work with zero status attached. That night, I felt like a failure. I created a mental scorecard of all the things I should have accomplished by 27 and beat myself up for every unchecked box. What I didn't realize then was that I'd fallen into what psychologists call narrative conformity, judging my life progress by a cultural script rather than by what would actually serve my long-term well-being. Let me tell you, the science behind this is fascinating. Research shows that your 20s aren't just an extended adolescence. They're a critical developmental period where your brain is undergoing its final major reorganization. During this time, your prefrontal cortex, responsible for planning, decision-making, and self-regulation, is still being refined. This makes your 20s both incredibly malleable and consequential. What most people don't understand is that there's an invisible opportunity cost to chasing the wrong things during this pivotal decade. Every year spent optimizing for external validation is a year not spent building the internal foundations that actually determine your capacity for success and fulfillment later. Think about it this way. Would you rather spend your 20s constructing an impressive-looking house with structural problems beneath the surface, or building an unimpressive foundation that can eventually support a magnificent structure? Most people choose the former without realizing it. In a moment, I'm going to share the 3 invisible investments that create exponential returns in your life, ones that nobody applauds you for in your 20s, but everyone envies you for by 35. But first, we need to understand the fundamental misconception that's costing an entire generation their potential. The core problem is that we've confused the markers of success with the makers of success. We chase the symbols, the title, the relationship status, the apartment, rather than developing the capacities that naturally produce these outcomes over time. This confusion creates what I call the early achievement paradox. The more desperately you chase external markers of success in your 20s, the more likely you are to make compromises that undermine your long-term trajectory. You take the prestigious job you hate, stay in the toxic relationship for status, or accumulate debt, maintaining an image you can't afford, all decisions that compound negatively over time. Let me be clear. I'm not saying achievements in your 20s don't matter. They absolutely can. But they must be byproducts of the right focus, not the focus itself. The right focus is what I call identity capital, the invisible assets you build within yourself that no one can take away and that appreciate over time. But what exactly should you be building instead? That's exactly what I'm about to show you. After studying the patterns of people who thrive not just in their 20s, but consistently through life, I've identified what I call the ICE method, 3 foundational elements that create exponential returns over time. I stands for identity formation. This is the process of discovering and solidifying who you actually are, separate from external expectations and cultural programming. C stands for capacity building. This involves developing your ability to produce value, manage complexity, and navigate uncertainty, skills that compound over decades. E stands for energy protection. This is about creating boundaries and systems that preserve your most precious resource, your physical, mental, and emotional energy. Most people's approach to their 20s fails dramatically in all three areas. Here's what it typically looks like. You graduate college and immediately optimize for salary or status. You take a job based primarily on how it sounds to others, not on whether it builds valuable skills or aligns with your authentic interests. You adopt the lifestyle and beliefs of your peer group without questioning them. You say yes to every opportunity and relationship out of FOMO, spreading yourself too thin to excel at anything. You ignore signs of burnout, pushing through with caffeine and weekend recovery. My friend, I know this pattern intimately because I lived it. In my early 20s, I took a prestigious consulting job that looked impressive, but taught me few transferable skills. I maintained friendships that drained me because they connected me to important people. I said yes to every project, networking event, and happy hour until I was running on empty. The result? By 28, I had an impressive resume, but low fulfillment, surface-level relationships, and chronic exhaustion. I was building a life that looked good, but felt terrible. What's your experience been with this tension between building what looks good versus what feels right? Have you felt the pressure to choose the prestigious path over the personally meaningful one? Or have you made choices that others questioned but felt deeply right to you? I am sure your insights will help others who are navigating this exact dilemma right now. The alternative approach requires courage because it often means making choices that others don't understand or validate in the short term. But this is precisely what makes it valuable. While everyone else is playing the same game, you're making moves that give you long-term asymmetric advantages. Let me walk you through exactly how to implement each component of the ICE method in your daily life. Starting with identity formation, the goal is to separate your authentic self from your conditioned self. This requires 3 specific practices. First, value excavation, identifying what genuinely matters to you versus what you've been taught should matter. Start by writing down your current goals and then asking, why? 5 times for each one. This reveals whether the goal stems from internal values or external pressure. For example, when I thought I wanted to be a lawyer, 5 whys revealed that I wasn't actually interested in law. I wanted the respect and financial security I associated with the profession. This led me to look for ways to achieve those underlying needs that actually aligned with my interests. Second, controlled failure exposure, deliberately putting yourself in situations where you might fail, but the stakes are manageable. This builds the critical skill of separating your identity from your outcomes. I started small, taking a stand-up comedy class where bombing on stage was expected. Learning to fail in a low-stakes environment made me more willing to take calculated risks in higher-stakes areas of life. Third, relationship inventory, systematically evaluating which relationships energize you versus which ones deplete you. This isn't about cutting people off, but about gaining clarity on where to invest your relational energy. Create a simple 2-column list with energy givers and energy takers. Review this quarterly and gradually shift your time toward relationships in the first column. This one practice alone can dramatically change your life trajectory. For capacity building, focus on developing these 3 meta skills that create compound returns. First, deep work capacity, your ability to focus intensely on challenging tasks without distraction. In an age of constant interruption, this is becoming a rare and valuable skill. Start with just 30 minutes of completely undistracted work daily. No phone, no email, no social media. Then gradually increase this by 15 minutes each week until you can sustain 2 to 3 hours of deep focus. This practice alone puts you ahead of 95% of your peers. Second, discomfort tolerance, your ability to stay engaged with difficult emotions and situations rather than avoiding them. This is perhaps the most underrated predictor of long-term success. Begin building this through small, daily discomfort practices, cold showers, difficult conversations you've been avoiding, or reaching out to people you admire but feel intimidated by. What matters is not the specific discomfort, but your willingness to move toward it rather than away from it. Third, learning agility, your ability to rapidly acquire new skills and adapt to changing conditions. This is increasingly crucial in a world where specific knowledge quickly becomes obsolete. Develop this by adopting a skill sprint approach, dedicating 30 days to intensively learning one new skill that stretches you. This could be coding, public speaking, a new language, or financial modeling. The content matters less than the process of pushing through the difficult early phase of learning. My friend, I'm going to share a personal story about how these principles completely transformed my trajectory in just 3 years. But first, let's address the final and most neglected component of the ICE method: energy protection. For energy protection, implement these 3 systems. First, attention hygiene, ruthlessly eliminating inputs that create noise, comparison, or confusion in your life. This might mean deleting social media apps from your phone, using them only on desktop, creating a low information diet where you consume news just once per week, unsubscribing from every email newsletter that doesn't provide consistent value. I implemented this system at 26 and reclaimed approximately 15 hours weekly, time I invested in deep work and relationship building instead. Second, recovery rhythm, establishing consistent patterns of rest and renewal before you need them. Most people wait until burnout to rest, which is like waiting until you're dehydrated to drink water. Design your ideal weekly recovery rhythm with one non-negotiable daily renewal practice. Could be meditation, exercise, reading. One midweek reset evening with no work or screens. One full weekend day for complete disconnection and rejuvenation. Third, decision minimization, reducing low-impact choices to free up mental energy for what matters. Decision fatigue silently erodes your capacity to make good choices about important things. Create systems that eliminate repetitive decisions, meal templates for different days of the week, capsule wardrobe with interchangeable pieces, automated savings and investments, morning and evening routines that run on autopilot. The power of this approach became clear in my own life when I hit 29. While many friends were experiencing burnout, relationship turmoil, or career confusion, I had built a strong sense of identity, valuable skills, and sustainable energy management. This wasn't because I was special, it was because I'd invested in the right foundations while they were busy maintaining appearances. I notice I'm feeling pulled toward this opportunity because of how it would look to others, not because it aligns with my actual values and direction. I need to pause and check whether this serves my long-term vision or just my short-term ego. This simple self-check, which I now use automatically, has saved me countless hours and thousands of dollars pursuing things that would have looked good but felt wrong. As you implement the ICE method, be aware of these 4 critical investments that most people in their 20s completely overlook. 1. Investing in psychological flexibility. Most people spend their 20s trying to figure out exactly who they are and what they want, creating rigid identities and plans that eventually become prisons. What they miss is that the most valuable skill is not certainty, but the ability to adapt and thrive amid uncertainty. In my mid-20s, I created an elaborate 5-year plan for my career, relationship, and location. When the company I worked for unexpectedly shut down, I initially panicked because reality had violated my plan. What I eventually realized was that the plan itself was the problem, not its disruption. The solution is to develop provisional rather than permanent identities, build skills, and pursue directions while remaining open to evolution. Ask, what am I curious about now? Rather than, what is my passion forever? This approach treats your 20s as exploration rather than declaration. 2. Investing in relationship depth over breadth. The pressure to network and maintain large social circles often leads to dozens of shallow connections rather than a few deep ones. Yet research consistently shows that quality, not quantity, of relationships determines well-being and even professional success over time. I spent years maintaining 500 plus LinkedIn connections and attending every industry event possible. Eventually, I realized I was investing enormous energy for minimal returns while neglecting the handful of relationships that actually provided genuine support and opportunity. The fix is simple but countercultural. Identify the 5 to 10 relationships that bring the most value to your life and career, then deliberately deepen these at the expense of maintaining superficial connections. One ally is worth 100 acquaintances. 3. Investing in process over outcomes. Most 20-somethings obsess over achievements and milestones while neglecting the systems and habits that actually produce results over time. They want the promotion without building the skills, the relationship without developing emotional intelligence, the body without consistent exercise. I fell into this trap repeatedly, setting ambitious goals without establishing the daily practices necessary to achieve them. The result was a cycle of initial enthusiasm followed by inevitable disappointment. The solution is to reverse this focus completely. Identify the daily process that will eventually create your desired outcome. Then make that process, not the outcome, your primary focus. Fall in love with the routine rather than the result. 4. Investing in longer time horizons. Perhaps the most consequential mistake in your 20s is optimizing for immediate rewards rather than playing long-term games. In a culture of quarterly targets and instant gratification, the ability to make decisions with 5, 10, or 20-year horizons is increasingly rare and valuable. At 24, I turned down a higher-paying job to work at a smaller company where I could develop a broader skill set. The short-term cost was about $15,000 in annual salary. The long-term benefit was developing capabilities that eventually allowed me to earn 5 times that amount and have far more autonomy. The remedy is to regularly ask, what would my future self thank me for investing in right now? Then allocate at least 20% of your resources, time, money, energy to investments that may not pay off for years, but will eventually create exponential returns. When you focus on building your identity, capacity, and energy management in your 20s, when you prioritize the invisible inner work over visible outer achievements, you create a foundation that can support extraordinary results for decades to come. This isn't about delaying gratification entirely, it's about finding deeper satisfaction in development rather than display. As author Ryan Holiday puts it, the obstacle is the way. The challenges and discomforts you move toward rather than away from in your 20s become the very source of your advantages later in life. I challenge you to choose just one element of the ICE method this week and take one small action to implement it. Maybe it's a 30-minute deep work session, a difficult conversation you've been avoiding, or deleting a social media app that triggers comparison. Start small, but start now. I guarantee that even these initial steps will begin to shift your trajectory in powerful ways. Remember, in a world obsessed with looking successful, the true power move is becoming the kind of person who can't help but succeed over time, whether anyone is watching or not. If you nail your 20s, if you really invest in identity, capacity, and energy management, something fascinating happens as you approach your 30s. The foundations you built start paying exponential returns. But here's the thing, your 30s introduce an entirely new set of challenges that require different strategies. The scattered exploration of your 20s has to transform into focused execution. The energy you once had becomes a precious resource you have to protect fiercely. Your network matters more than your resume, and the clock starts ticking louder on certain decisions. This isn't about decline, it's about evolution. Let me show you what separates people who thrive in their 30s from those who burn out. Time feels different in your 30s. You realize you're not invincible and immortal. This creates urgency, but also clarity about what actually matters. I learned to batch similar tasks together. All my calls on Tuesday afternoons, all my creative work in the morning when my brain is fresh, all my administrative tasks on Friday afternoon when I'm mentally done anyway. The biggest time waster? Trying to be productive all the time. I built in buffer time for thinking, planning, and just being. My best ideas come during walks, not during scheduled idea time. Learning to say no became my secret weapon. Every yes is a no to something else. I started asking, if I say yes to this, what am I saying no to? That question changed everything. Your 30s are when you start protecting your energy like a precious resource, because it is. You can't give from an empty cup, and you can't build a meaningful life if you're constantly drained. My friend, here's what no one tells you about your 30s. Making friends becomes exponentially harder. Gone are the days of bonding over shared classes or late-night college adventures. Now you're competing with mortgages, marriages, and demanding careers for attention. I learned this the hard way when I moved to a new city at 31. I thought I'd make friends naturally, like I did in my 20s. Instead, I spent months feeling isolated, wondering if I was broken somehow. The truth? Adult friendship requires intentional effort. You can't just rely on proximity anymore. You have to actively create opportunities for connection. I started hosting monthly game nights, not because I love board games, but because I needed a consistent way to see people. It worked. The friends who matter in your 30s are the ones who show up when life gets messy, when you're dealing with aging parents, career transitions, or relationship challenges. These aren't fair weather friends. They're the people who text you back when you're having a breakdown at 11 p.m. Before I share the relationship insight that changed the way I connect with people, there's something we need to clear up, because most of the career advice out there is quietly leading people toward regret, not fulfillment. Quality over quantity becomes your friendship philosophy. I'd rather have 3 friends I can truly count on than 30 acquaintances who disappear when things get tough. Your social circle naturally contracts in your 30s. Lean into it. It's not a bug, it's a feature. Here's something I wish someone had told me. Your career should enhance your life, not consume it. In your 30s, you start realizing that working 60-hour weeks for someone else's dream isn't sustainable. I watched my mentor burn out at 38 because he spent a decade chasing promotions that looked impressive on paper but made him miserable in reality. That's when I learned to ask different questions. What does success actually look like for Emmy? Not what does success look like? The side project you keep putting off? Start it now. Not because it might make you rich, but because it gives you options. I started writing online not to become a full-time creator, but to have something that was mine, something I controlled. That perspective shift changed everything. Let me tell you, your network isn't just about who you know. It's about who knows what you're capable of. The best opportunities come from people who have seen your work ethic, not your resume. Start building relationships around shared interests, not just professional advancement. Here's the counterintuitive truth. The more you focus on what you can give rather than what you can get, the more opportunities flow your way. Help others succeed, and success finds you. Your 30s are when the financial reality hits hard. That "I'll figure it out later" mentality from your 20s, it's costing you big time. Every month you delay is money you'll never get back, and the math is brutal. Here's what changed my perspective. I calculated how much my Netflix subscription would be worth if I invested that $15 monthly instead. Over 30 years, nearly $30,000. That's not even including the other subscriptions I forgot I had. The real game changer isn't finding the perfect investment strategy. It's automating your finances so you don't have to think about it. Set up automatic transfers to your savings and investment accounts. Treat it like a bill you have to pay, because you do, to your future self. I learned this the hard way when I spent 2 years researching the best investment approach while my money sat in a savings account earning 0.01%. Analysis paralysis cost me more than any investment mistake ever could. The compound interest thing everyone talks about, it's not just about money, it's about habits. Starting to save $200 a month at 30 instead of 35 doesn't just save you $12,000 more, it builds a habit that will make you financially disciplined for life. My friend, your 30s are when life starts throwing real curveballs. Job losses, health scares, relationship challenges, aging parents. The stakes get higher and the problems get more complex. I learned this when my dad had a heart attack at 58. Suddenly, I wasn't just responsible for my own life anymore. I was dealing with hospital visits, insurance claims, and difficult conversations about mortality. Nothing in my 20s prepared me for this level of responsibility. Mental resilience isn't about being tough all the time. It's about having systems in place for when things fall apart. I started treating therapy like regular maintenance, not crisis management. Best investment I ever made. Building emotional intelligence becomes crucial. You need to understand your own triggers, manage your reactions, and communicate effectively under pressure. The ability to stay calm in chaos isn't just nice to have, it's essential. This shift in our 30s hits harder than most of us expect, and I know I'm not the only one feeling it. The way friendships evolve, the quiet distance that forms, the effort it takes to stay close. If any of this resonates, drop a comment. I'd really love to hear how you're navigating it all. I also learned the power of having a stress response plan. When things go wrong, and they will, having predetermined steps to take removes the decision fatigue when you're already overwhelmed. It's like having a fire escape plan for your emotions. Your 30s are when you realize that having 500 Facebook friends means nothing if you can't call anyone at 2 a.m. It's when you start investing in relationships that actually matter instead of maintaining connections that drain you. I used to think I was being social by saying yes to every invitation, but I was actually being social media social, present but not really there. Real friendship requires intentional time, vulnerability, and showing up when it's inconvenient. The game changer for me was implementing friend dates, scheduled time with people I actually wanted to deepen relationships with. It sounds formal, but it works. We schedule everything else important in our lives. Why not friendship? Your romantic relationship, if you have one, becomes your practice ground for all other relationships. Learning to communicate your needs, set boundaries, and resolve conflicts isn't just relationship advice. It's life skills that affect everything. Your body starts sending you invoices in your 30s. That all-nighter you pulled, You'll feel it for 3 days, that fast food binge, your energy crashes harder and longer. But here's what I learned. Health isn't about perfection, it's about consistency. The person who walks 10 minutes every day for a year will be healthier than the person who does intense workouts for a month, then quits. I stopped trying to find the perfect workout and started asking, what can I do consistently? The answer was simple: bodyweight exercises while watching TV. Not glamorous, but sustainable. Sleep became my superpower when I realized it affected everything. My mood, my decision-making, my relationship, my work performance. Protecting my sleep became non-negotiable because everything else I cared about depended on it. Mental health deserves the same attention as physical health. I started treating therapy like regular maintenance, not crisis management. Best investment I ever made. Your 30s are when you realize you're not just surviving anymore. You're designing a life. This requires intentional choices about everything from where you live to how you spend your weekends. I stopped trying to optimize my life for other people's approval and started optimizing for my own energy and fulfillment. This meant saying no to social events that drained me and yes to activities that recharged me. Your environment shapes your behavior more than willpower ever will. I made my home a place that supported my goals instead of fighting against them. Removed distractions, added inspiration, created spaces for the activities I wanted to do more of. If this content has been speaking to you and you're ready to go deeper, I'd love to have you inside the membership. It's a space for more focused growth, exclusive content, early videos, and real input from you on what we explore next. This is where casual interest turns into real momentum. My friend, here's what I learned. Success isn't a destination, it's a direction. And in your 30s, you get to choose which direction you're heading. I stopped measuring my life against other people's highlight reels and started measuring it against my own values. This shift eliminated most of my anxiety and doubled my satisfaction. Your 30s are when you realize that having it all is impossible, but having what matters most is absolutely achievable. The key is defining what matters most for you. Purpose isn't something you find, it's something you create through your choices. Every decision you make is a vote for the kind of person you want to become. The final insight I'm about to share ties everything together. It's the principle that determines whether your 30s become your best decade or your most regretful one. Here's the secret sauce. Everything connects. Your financial stability affects your career choices. Your health affects your relationships. Your time management affects your ability to pursue purpose. Your mindset affects everything. The people who thrive in their 30s aren't the ones who excel in one area. They're the ones who create harmony across all areas. They understand that life is a system, not a collection of separate problems. Small improvements in multiple areas compound into massive life changes. It's not about perfection, it's about progress in the right direction. Your 30s aren't about having everything figured out. They're about building the foundations that will support everything you want to build later. It's about making choices today that your future self will thank you for. The question isn't whether you're doing your 30s right. The question is whether you're being intentional about how you spend this crucial decade. What actually matters in your 30s is giving yourself permission to build a life that matters to you, not to your parents, not to society, not to social media, but to you. This is your time to build wisely. Your future self is counting on the choices you make today. My friend, you now have something most people spend decades figuring out, if they ever do. The difference between those who thrive and those who drift isn't intelligence or luck. It's knowing what actually matters and having the courage to act on it while everyone else is distracted. Your future self is watching what you do next. Will you close this video and forget everything, or will you take one truth and apply it today? The roadmap is clear. The only question is whether you'll follow it. If you found this video helpful, this next video right here will take you even further. Your choice, your life. Start now.